right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Wonderful weekend. It's finally here, and the weather looks spectacular for this time of year. What you'll need if you're spending time outside this weekend.
We heard it was opening today, so we came today.
People pack a popular Metro East Park for the first time since a giant sinkhole opened up. The steps being taken to ensure the hole is repaired. But first tonight, a disturbing discovery in a local school district bathroom. Now a fuming father is demanding answers.
Wow. Are we still doing this?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson. The St. Charles County dad said last night he found a noose hanging inside a men's restroom near a football field at Francis House Central High School. Only on 5 on Your Side, Robert Townsend talks to the father and has reaction from the school's principal.
Kelly, Mitchell Long is obviously upset and has many emotions after finding that news. Now, administrators at Francis Howell Central High and police are right now investigating the disturbing discovery.
Just hanging.
Mitchell Long is talking about this noose that he immediately took cell phone pictures of. The furious St. Charles County father says he spotted it hanging from a stall inside a men's restroom near this football field behind Francis Howell Central High School Thursday night. Long was at his 9-year-old son's football practice at the time. His 15-year-old son attends Francis Howell Central.
My first expression was like, wow. Are we still doing this? Did this really just happen? It's gray and blue. Those are our school colors.
He says another dad also saw the noose.
I don't know who took it down. The parent tried to get rid of it. I said, no, they need to see that.
The frustrated dad flagged down a varsity football coach, walked him to the restroom, and showed it to him.
He said somebody will be addressing it. Around 10 o'clock at night, I got a phone call from the head coach apologizing for the situation, and he said, I'm terribly sorry. Not good enough. Administrators immediately should have gave me a phone call. And like I expressed to them, too many of our black and brown babies have those struggles in our schools.
In a letter sent to parents, Francis Howell Central Principal Dr. Suzanne Leak said in part, quote, while there were no words or notes to accompany the news, we are partnering with law enforcement to investigate this as a potential hate crime. She also said such a symbol has no business in our schools or facilities. Sabrina Looney, the president of the St. Charles branch of the NAACP, also said in a statement they're deeply disappointed by the ongoing acts of violence and hate speech black and brown children in the Francis Howell School District continue to experience.
I'm hoping what comes out of this investigation is they bring awareness. It's not fair for anybody to have to experience that.
Now, just minutes ago, the Francis Howell School District spokesperson said they have now identified the individual involved, and after extensive conversation and an extensive investigation, they do not believe this to be a racially motivated incident. The first day of school for Francis Howell Central students is on Tuesday, Kelly.
All right, thank you, Robert. Tonight, St. Louis police continue to investigate a shooting involving police that left a woman dead. Police believe the woman is connected to a shooting this morning in Bellefontaine Neighbors. Investigators say a masked suspect walked into a White Castle, shot a female cook, and left. About an hour later, the suspect's car was found in South St. Louis. We are told an armed woman walked away from the car and did not comply with officers' verbal commands. That is when 2 officers shot her. She raised her weapon and shot herself.
Additional officers were in the area and arrived immediately, rendered first aid to the female in an attempt to save her life. Upon EMS's arrival, it was learned that she died at the scene here today.
Tonight, the White Castle employee remains in the hospital with critical injuries. We still don't know if the suspect and victim knew each other and how many shots were fired by police. We'll continue to update you on air and online as we learn more about this developing story. Tonight marks 1 week since the violent protest that seriously injured Ferguson police officer Travis Brown. Brown suffered a life-threatening brain injury last Friday night after being knocked to the ground during a protest marking 10 years since Michael Brown's death. He remains in a coma, but his family says he is showing signs of progress. A GoFundMe for Officer Brown has currently raised more than $125,000. For information on how to donate, look for this story in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. A popular Metro East park is back open tonight, weeks after mine subsidence caused a massive sinkhole to open on a soccer field. New tonight, Annie Krall spoke with people who visited the park today.
It's hard to forget the first time you saw this footage, a sinkhole swallowing a light post and the chance of a typical summer in Alton. Now a glimpse of normalcy Friday as the city deems it safe for the roads, walking paths, and other parts of Gordon F. Moore Park to open back up.
There's a lot of walking, hiking.
Before the June 26 closure, Michelle Stewart used to come here 4 times a week to walk her dog, Sweets. Grateful the Mine Safety and Health Administration says most of the park is safe.
I think it's important to get out, just walk around, helps relieve stress, gets the dog some exercise.
Excitement echoed by Alton Mayor David Goins, who said Wednesday that exploratory drilling found the mine ceilings under the park safe.
Now they're going to start doing the drilling and really investigating that sinkhole to determine, the cause of it, because they just haven't been there.
Now, because of all this fencing, you really can't see the bottom of the Alton sinkhole, but I'll take a step to the side so you can see that those parallel lines on the field aren't so parallel. People stepping up to it on Friday say the pictures don't do it justice. Leaders say it has doubled, if not tripled, in size. Engineers saying that's normal and it could get even bigger, which is why many people on social media say they're hesitant to come back. But Stewart isn't nervous, saying she's been waiting for this day all summer.
I think it's pretty common. I used to live in Florida and there were sinkholes everywhere, and it's just like, if it's going to be near you, then, or if you're going to be next to it, you better be careful, but you don't know. It could just happen.
No timeline yet on the repairs, but the community golf course has their first tee times back on Saturday. In Alton, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
New Frontier Materials still conducting underground investigations as geologists and engineers work their way toward the sinkhole. Once they identify the weakness, they'll develop and carry out a plan to repair it. In just 3 days, St. Louis Public Schools will open its doors for the first day for classes. This year, the district is using a new transportation plan to get students to school. More than 200 students will use the Hop, Skip, Jump program that's partnered with SLPS for the 2nd year in a row. Care drivers use their personal car to pick up children, and parents can track the ride before it even begins. We talked with an area driver who says she takes safety very seriously.
It's important for me to know that they feel secure when they get in my vehicle and that they're going to school, and I'd like the parents to also feel secure.
The district says all of the vehicles will have clear decals and a number in the window to let parents know their child is being picked up by the right vehicle. New at 10, a closer look at efforts to redevelop North St. Louis. $30 million will go to a host of businesses and nonprofits to help with construction, payroll expenses, and even facade improvements. Brent Solomon shows us how it's helping fulfill a need.
Sometimes the only thing standing in the way of a facelift is a force to help you get there.
Working capital. This is the main thing we're having problems with.
Merritt Asfa owns STL Transportation in North City.
Tuck pointing. Inside, we need flooring, joisting.
His shuttle service is helping transport students to school.
Recently, the need picked up.
The small business has had to focus on operating priorities over building repairs.
We just got held up funding-wise.
In our city's history, we've seen some neighborhoods that have thrived, while others have continued to decline.
Neil Richardson, the president of the St. Louis Development Corporation, tells me $30 million in ARPA funding now being allocated to give businesses a boost. Grants range from $15,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars. The group has now acquired the former Killark Electric manufacturing plant here on Vandeventer to offer even more economic opportunities.
We will have resources for small businesses, we'll have workforce development programs, we will have manufacturers on site that are producing products, hiring people from the community and helping rebuild the community itself.
Right now, similar programs are happening at Sumner High School at the Economic Empowerment Center that opened in 2022.
That's how we grow our tax base, that's how we grow our city population and actually keep people in our communities.
Especially North Side. They need this the correct way and to the correct people.
It's long overdue. And it's just the beginning, though.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Hundreds of businesses have applied for assistance. Some of them have received funding. Others have been told they will be soon awarded. Organizers first have to ensure applicants are up to date on their taxes and have an up-to-date business license.
An attempt to steal Graceland. The charges a Missouri woman faces after prosecutors say she tried to rob from the family of Elvis Presley. Flying high to fight crime. Meet the local law enforcement unit that provides air support for police officers on the streets.
My favorite part is following cars. You know, when cars take off or if there's a pursuit, it's chasing those cars and giving the ability to officers on the ground to apprehend those suspects.
A nearly perfect August weekend on the way for us. The changes happening over the next 24 hours that will get the first day of school for many next week off to a good start.